electric bill, 28%, 45%, 62%, 78%, 95%, which is really good at about 34 panels, 112% at 40 panels. I do not know how things are in Colorado, but in California, you do not want to go over 110%. It creates a huge snafu. Normally, the systems we install are slightly hotter than what's on the proposal. So if you rate a proposal at 105% and we push over that 5% amount when we're designing the system to be permitted, and it goes over the 110, the power company has the right to deny us. They have a right to cause us a whole headache of sweet things. Plus, if we go over 110%, we lose the federal tax credits, and we lose the ability to write it off as home improvement loan, to have the interest, the ability to write off the interest against the house payment. So it's very important. So if you ever ask, how come we don't rate a home at 100%? How come we don't rate it at 105%? It's because the way the energy kickback program is designed, it's designed so that you cannot, quote unquote, make money by installing a solar system on your house. You're not going to do it for profit. You're just going to do it to zero out your own electric, to zero out your own footprint. That being said, those of you who are smart enough to figure it out, you're going to use more electricity, but at a reduced rate at nighttime than during the day, where the system is generating. During the day is the peak hours. So actually, yes, the power company is making out a little bit of bank on that. Anyway, so we go down here, we take a look at this. We take a look at this system. 34 panels, 40 panels. Means 36 is going to be right about the sweet spot. 36, 37 panels is going to be right about the sweet spot if you look at these two numbers and you look at the way the spread is. So we're going to do 36 panels. Nice round number. We've got a 9.3 kilowatt system. We're going to see if we can power that with a 7.6 inverter. We might be able to get away with it. If at all possible, we want the inverter just slightly undersized, because for whatever reason, the rating works out, and our little thing went away, so yes, our rating is working out. If you do need to change the inverters, this is what I was talking about earlier. If you go here, you can select a different inverter, because if you have a different size solar system here, let's say you do a 14 panel system, now you've only got a 3.6 kilowatt system, in which case this inverter is way too big, and we're going to drop it down to a 3,000 unit. But this is where I said every home in America is 240 volts off the line. If you're doing 208, whoa, that should be a red flag. If you're doing 208 and it says USA, once again, you're going to want to double check to make sure that that is applicable to your situation, because 99 times out of 100, you're going to want the 240 volt version. And always look for the USA behind it if it offers that option, because that means it's approved for the USA. For this system that we just dropped down to, let's do a 3,000 volt USA. 240 volt, standard house voltage. Pow. No flag. Anyways, but if we go back up here, we see that a 14 panel system is actually only going to cover maybe 30% of the bill. So that's not a good match. We're well under the 110 point, or under the 110%, but we'll go back here. We'll switch back to our 7600. You want it slightly underpowered. Like I said, it's I'm not quite sure why it balances that way. That would be a great question for somebody in design or somebody in permitting. I am not an electrician. I am a computer geek. Ask me about computers. Don't ask me about electricity. We go down to the bottom here. We're almost done. We're almost done. Look at that. Yay. Tells us the inverters, tells me about that. The inverter, what is that? The warranty, the lifetime expectations, panel lifetime expectation, percent of gross, consumer price index. Gives me all this lovely information. We don't worry about customize. We still don't worry about efficiency. But if you look, you got a green check mark here, green check mark here, green check mark here, and here. You don't worry about customize, because that's where you change company logos and stuff, and we're clean power. We don't want to mess with that. Now we go to report. Under report, when it loads, and it should give you this area here. Now this is where you can sit there and say, I want an efficiency summary. Well, it's not, none of this is applicable, but this is where you can sit there and say, yeah, no, I don't want the financial narrative. Well, wait a minute. No, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I want to know the utility cost detail. Yes, I do. This is where you select what pages will print in your proposal. That's what I'm thinking about. Come down here, create PDF, because that's what you're ready to do. That's right. The proposal tool is that simple. Like I said, it's not that I don't think you can handle it. It's not that it's hard to do. It's just that I like to keep all the information in one spot so that when a customer calls, we know what you do, vice versa. Click create PDF. It'll spawn your PDF reader, and you will get a voila, which is French for I don't believe that works. Actually, I create as I speak, but the no, that's abracadabra. But anyways, I think it's there. It is. So John Doe's financial report, boom's right there. See, all that other good stuff. I put my name in there. Clean power. Da, 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 da. We've got it's sick JK email, whatever that is. Here's your executive summary, all the stuff that you're used to seeing in your report, and you just created it yourself. The last two things that you need to do is you're going to hit save because you want to save it. It's going to ask where you want to save it. Take a look where mine's being saved. Mine's being saved in my documents. Take a look at the name. First initial, last name, the date it was run, the time it was run. Boom, I hit save, pow. Then all I have to do is open up my documents and then open up the Google Drive, and I drag it from here to the Google Drive and I drop it on the Google Drive, and then I still have copies on my hard drive, and I put them, the ones that I run anyway, and this is going to mess up my system, but I put them underneath old proposals. These are the old proposals that I've run, the proposals I've run in the past. So I know right away, date and time, whether and name, plus I can open them up. And that lets me know who I've run proposals for and who I haven't. And, so someone says, you didn't run a proposal, I can go there and say, yeah, I did. I can also know what time there was run, so on and so forth. I drop it up to the drive. I can feel what size it is. But if you're busy running proposals on your own, then I don't have the luxury of this anymore. I don't have this fallback. So if you ask me, oh, wow, I need you to resend that proposal, well, instead of grabbing it from here and being 2 seconds, now I've got to go back to Energy Periscope and spend the 10 minutes to punch it through. And then hopefully, I still have whatever information I used to generate the proposal laying around. Hopefully it's still in Zen Call, or it's in whatever sheet was sent to me, or etc. And that's something else I want to change. Is sometimes I get proposal requests over email. Sometimes I get attachments over email. Sometimes somebody sends me a photo of the power bill. Sometimes send it to me in a text message. All these different ways to bring in the proposals, and I really don't like it. I would much rather, here's a website address. Green Office Global. Okay. Whoops. Now, Green Office Global is my own website. I own that, so that's at the moment we're using that to piggyback part of Clean Power. But this is if you take a look at this URL right here, this is a proposal request. You punch in the top. You punch in the stuff. Matt. Customer's email. Utility company. Average bill 125. And you click send. Okay. Guess what? Thank you. Your proposal will be either emailed to you or it'll be submitted. It'll be on the Google Drive at 8 o'clock that night. Because along with checking Zen Call, I check this list. And there's the proposal that I just requested. Okay? And this gives me how much, this gives me where, this gives me who the utility is, this gives me enough information at the very bare minimum, to run a proposal. It also, it gives me the bare minimum to run a proposal. Eventually, it will also be the same form we use for DocuSign And when we go here and you fill out the form, it will not only give you a proposal, it'll also give you the DocuSign documents that match said proposal. But that would be going there. I'm hoping to have that up and operating by this weekend. I just fixed DocuSign late this afternoon. I have to go through and do some training on that. We'll probably do a web video like this one, and we'll go from there. But what this will be is the new proposal tool just for clean power. You'll punch in the particulars here, just like you were using the Energy Periscope, except for it's a much smaller form, more compact, more directly focused at clean power, because this one here is focused at basically the solar industry at large. This is supposed to be one size fits all for, Mother's Got Solar. And for every other solar company under the sun, this is going to be just clean power, and it's going to generate both documents out of the one spot the minute you hit send. But that will do a couple of things. It'll help us out. It'll help us keep all the cows on the one ranch and in the one fence. Plus, it'll give you all the paperwork you need that matches it, and since all the cows will be on one ranch, customer service or anyone who answers a phone at the offices will have the ability to look up what you told the customer, what you quoted the customer over the phone. All right, so we're good. Any questions? Direct them to Kurt. Peace out.